This is the Antichrist and this is the false prophet. Today you'll learn the traits of each so you don't confuse them, because I see many people mixing up the personalities of these two beings who will be active during the Great Tribulation. So to understand, first, the Antichrist comes from Islam and the false prophet comes from the Jews. The Antichrist is an old man because the Bible says in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 that he comes wanting to appear as God, and God is the Ancient of Days. So the Antichrist personality isn't about being nice. The Bible speaks in various contexts, especially in Matthew 24:15, where Jesus calls him the abomination of desolation. The prophet Daniel in chapter 9 says the Antichrist comes riding on the wings of abomination, the destroyer comes. So the Antichrist is a man of war, he's a dictator, he comes with the help of a false god, he's a political leader, he's a religious leader. And as a political leader, he'll be torn from a nation that today is Iran. He'll be ripped from there, no longer a leader of Iran. The Antichrist also has a deadly wound. Ali Khamenei has a mortal wound, his arm was stabbed, it died, lost movement, it's dead. The Bible says this wound will be healed. It's a healing, not a resurrection. His arm will move normally again, that he has no love or empathy for women. And this is exactly what's reflected in Islam. Islam completely strips away women's freedom and rights. So the Antichrist fits perfectly as Ali Khamenei because he truly embodies this characteristic the Bible describes. He's a dictator and he's abominable and desolating because he's a man of war. Now the false prophet, he's a Jew. He comes pretending to be Jesus because Jesus was a Jew. So the false prophet will be young because Jesus was young, and the false prophet, he's the man who will bring these peace agreements. And that's why Jared Kushner is involved in the Abraham Accords, the Gaza ceasefire agreement, the agreement to rebuild Gaza, which will be Great Babylon along with Israel. Jared Kushner will also bring other agreements. He's an intermediary who will facilitate these deals between the Antichrist himself and other nations because he's posing as Jesus, and Jesus wasn't a man of war. So the Antichrist, he's a man of war, but the false prophet is not. So the false prophet, his role is to prepare the world to worship the Antichrist. And this is written in the book of Revelation chapter 13 from verse 12 onward. The false prophet exercises all the power of the first beast. First beast, Ali Khamenei. And what power does Ali Khamenei have? He's a political leader, so Jared Kushner will be too. And he, Ali Khamenei, is also a religious leader. Jared Kushner will be appointed as a religious leader because he's been posing as Jesus. So that's where Rome's role comes in. Rome's role is to canonize saints, so that's where Rome comes in to officially recognize that Jared Kushner is Jesus himself. Why? Because when that time comes, Jared Kushner will perform miracles, and through the miracles he does, what does the Bible say? He deceives those on earth, making them worship the Antichrist. So the false prophet's role, posing as Jesus, is to convince the world they don't need to worship our Jesus. He'll say that Jesus is not the Son of God. So that's where apostasy comes in, because people will believe through his miracles that he is Jesus and not the Son of God, just a prophet. And he'll convince the world, look, you don't need to worship me, worship him. So do you understand the difference between the false prophet and the Antichrist? They have different personalities and different roles during the Great Tribulation period. However, the spotlight will only be on these two. That's why these two are gaining prominence.